That day, countless eerie black stone monuments fell from the sky, and a barrier was deployed soon after. Monsters known as disaster beasts breached the barrier and invaded the human world to wreak havoc. The demon of ruin, known as Linga, arrived along with hundreds of other monsters to wage a war of extermination against humanity. At that time, while humans were running for their lives, a mother was holding her dear son tightly as she fled. A monster struck down her husband who was running behind her, and seeing this made the child start crying while reaching out for him. She did not give up and kept running to save both herself and her son, but it was no use against a monster that could even use long-range attacks. The monster attacked her, and when she realized that she had no chance to survive, she threw her son, Itsuki, and told him to run away. Now Itsuki has grown up and is standing in the school grounds with his friend Saya, who is trying to bring him back to his senses as he is zoning out. She asks if he is fine since he was spacing out. Itsuki says that he is fine, but she asks if that is really true because she can see that he is crying. Itsuki becomes very surprised, realizing that he is actually crying. Rigu, who is also their friend, arrives laughing and says that Itsuki is probably just sleepy because he would usually be sleeping at this time. But today a school-wide assembly started all of a sudden. After wiping away his tears, Itsuki comments about the unknown teacher who is dressed very strangely. The teacher explains that after the disaster beasts appeared, beings known as Awakeners emerged within humanity, possessing the power to oppose them. 10 years ago, during the largest-scale attack by disaster beasts at the north bank of the Blue River, Awakeners gathered from all over the world, crossed the river, and later came to be called the River Crossers. They repelled the disaster beasts, and it became known as a major war. Since then, attacks by disaster beasts have decreased, but recently, the number of descending stone monuments has surged. A large-scale attack rivaling the river crossing war will likely happen in the not-so-distant future. Seeing the teacher, Rigu explains to Itsuki that the person is the commander of the North Continent, Izumi Nendo. Since Itsuki is from the South Continent, he does not know about him. Hearing about Izumi rings a bell in Itsuki's mind, because it is a name he has heard very often. Itsuki thought Izumi would be some hunched-over old man with a long beard, but he looks even stranger than Itsuki imagined. Rigu notices Itsuki zoning out while thinking, so he comments that he knows what Itsuki wants to say, but despite appearances, Izumi is the first awakener. It is also thanks to him that they know about the stone monuments and disaster beasts. Not only that, Rigu also reveals that the strongest awakener, known by the alias Humanity's Light, Sadakazu-jin, is also Izumi's student. Izumi continues by explaining recent research that shows even ordinary people who have not awakened can have a certain probability of becoming awakeners by touching a stone monument, and that is why they came here this time. Izumi encourages all the students to become awakeners and devote themselves to fighting the disaster beasts. After that, Izumi uses his ability to summon a stone monument. Seeing this makes the students very excited because, to them, it feels like a dream come true. They all pray to become awakeners. Rigu also seems very happy and asks Itsuki if he heard that they finally have a chance to become awakeners too. Ignoring Rigu, Itsuki's voice changes as he says that he can finally do it. After that, Itsuki starts walking forward, and seeing this, Rigu tells Itsuki not to leave him behind. Saya also tries to stop Itsuki, telling him that they need to go in order, but Itsuki ignores her and keeps walking. His eyes are filled with intense emotion, as if he has been waiting his whole life for this day, and it has finally come. Meanwhile, the other students are touching the stone to become awakeners, but it is not going well at all. Even the student known for outstanding athletic ability, who broke school records in his first year, is unable to awaken, so the other students believe it is definitely impossible for them. One female student still feels hopeful, saying that athletic ability might not be related, and that it is too early to give up. The guards next to the monuments call the next students, but they all continue to fail to awaken. Realizing this, the silver-haired student tells his friend that not a single person has become an awakener yet. The brown-haired student clenches his fist, saying that he thought he would succeed easily, but he could not. The black-haired student is worried that their school is seriously going to get wiped out. Now, it is the turn of the student named Oishi Hikaru. Hearing that name, some of the female students tell each other that they really do not want Oishi Hikaru to become an awakener, because if he becomes one, then they are done for. He is already a habitual bully. The brown-haired student standing next to those girls shouts when the stone monument starts lighting up. Oishi, placing his hand on the stone monument. After Oishi awakens, his stats panel shows up. With his level starting at 0, he has the job title of Elementalist. Izumi's daughter, Ajiha, tells Izumi that they finally got one, and if it is level 0, then the total stat value is basically 5, but Oishi has an unexpected 12. She comments that it is better than nothing. Izumi does not make any comment, and then the scene shifts to Oishi, who is showing off his victory. Without saying anything, Itsuki gestures for Oishi to step back, which makes Oishi very angry, asking if Itsuki wants to die. Even the students are shocked and try to find out who Itsuki is for cutting the line. One of the students recognizes Itsuki from class 5. A female student comments that Itsuki is finished because once Oishi targets anyone, then it is the end. Ignoring all of that, Itsuki goes to the stone monument and places his hand on it. Seeing this, Ajiha tells Izumi that she can sense an incredibly intense emotion from Itsuki. While placing his hand on the stone, Itsuki is thinking that so he will never forget his hatred for the disaster beasts. He has burned everything about that day into his mind. His resolve is different from the other students. Even Izumi is shocked to see Itsuki's overwhelming aura, and suddenly the energy around the area takes the shape of a huge flower, covering the wide sky. The students are amazed by the form of a flower that is hundreds of meters tall, and what is even more amazing is that it is far flashier than Oishi's awakening. Saya and Rigu are very happy to see that Itsuki has awakened his abilities. Ajiha is also surprised, because this is a phenomenon that only occurs when the rarest job, Order Breaker, appears. Standing in amazement, Izumi wonders just how capable Itsuki is, and he finds himself looking forward to what comes next. Oishi, on the other hand, is getting very angry as he stands there, and Itsuki opens his eyes, wondering about the abilities he has awakened. But when he opens his eyes, he finds himself somewhere else, and then his stats appear. Itsuki's level is fixed at level 0. His job is Order Breaker. He has Nirvana as a gift, which is special grade, and its level is fixed. When learning a skill, all his stats increase, debuffs on himself are removed, and his wounds fully recover. He has the Z-rank skill over Mimesis, with which analyzing enemy attacks can help him learn counter skills. Itsuki is very shocked after finding out that all his stats, like attack, agility, defense, and magic, are 0. But suddenly, a pop-up appears claiming that Itsuki has learned the skill over Mimesis, so the special grade gift Nirvana has been activated, making all his stats increase by 200. Now Itsuki has a total of 800. Itsuki comes to realize that if he learns skills with over Mimesis, he gains stats through Nirvana, and even if he cannot level up, he can become stronger in his own way. Itsuki clenches his fist, saying that he does not know what level of Awakener this corresponds to, but there is no mistake that he has become an Awakener. Now, he will defeat the disaster beasts. The flower opens up, shining brightly, and Itsuki's stats surprise everyone. Even Ajiha is very amazed, making her believe that Itsuki is an extraordinary rookie. Even for Izumi, it is hard to believe at first, but among all rookie Awakeners in history, that boy is undoubtedly the strongest. All the students are amazed after seeing Itsuki's stats rise all at once. They never thought that someone so incredible was in their school. The professor comments that it is an achievement that will go down in school history. While everyone else is very happy, Oishi is furious at Itsuki because he stole all the cheers that Oishi thought were supposed to be his. Oishi charges toward Itsuki, thinking that someone like Itsuki should just stay a loser. Oishi decides to strike Itsuki with the skill he just learned, known as Silver Snake. While glaring at his stats, Itsuki receives another system window as the system detects the C-rank skill Silver Snake, so over Mimesis is activated. The system starts the analysis process, and the progress rises from 57 to 69%. Itsuki suddenly vanishes from his location, surprising everyone because they cannot find him anywhere at all. The students only see an electric current flash for an instant, and then Itsuki disappears. Oishi looks around, trying to find where Itsuki is. The progress reaches 88%, and Itsuki suddenly appears behind Oishi. Sensing this, Oishi's body freezes in place. Itsuki steps closer to Oishi and tells him to consider himself lucky to be born human, because if he were a disaster beast, then Itsuki would have defeated him many times over already. The students are very shocked after seeing Itsuki there, and some of them laugh, realizing that Oishi is scared and cannot move properly. Other students quickly silence them, saying it would be bad if Oishi heard them. Now the progress reaches 99%, and sensing the energy, Itsuki wonders if the analysis is so fast because it is only a C-rank skill. Now the analysis progress reaches 100% and is completed. C-rank skill, Thunder Roar Wave, acquired. The brown-haired student is amazed when he sees that Itsuki glows again, and the student next to him smiles while adjusting his glasses and comments that he is glad he had his sunglasses ready. While inside the flower-shaped space, Itsuki thinks that it seems every time the analysis completes, he is forcibly brought into that space. The Silver Snake skills analysis is complete, and Itsuki has acquired Thunder Roar Wave. Itsuki's outer body suddenly starts lighting up again, giving everyone another shock, and his lightning is much brighter than Oishi's. This makes Oishi wonder how Itsuki learned a skill like that, and to think that Itsuki's stats would rise that much again. Now Itsuki has a total of 840. It was sunny just a moment ago, and now it starts raining. Not only that, the students notice something falling from the sky onto the ground, and they soon recognize it as another stone monument. Uchiha wonders why it is here of all places. Izumi cancels the school assembly and orders everyone to evacuate outside the school grounds immediately, following the evacuation drills. Izumi is sure that he is their target. Uchiha suggests to her father that they should run as well, since combat is not their specialty. Izumi refuses to run, because if they run, it will only make everyone more anxious, and not only that, he tells Uchiha to look at the boy, Itsuki, who has more courage than them. While all the students are running away, Itsuki is walking toward the stone monument. Seeing that, Uchiha shouts, asking Itsuki why he is not running. The stone monument lands on the ground, and Rigu and Saya run to stop Itsuki, telling him to run. But all Itsuki can think about right now is that he needs to defeat every last one of the disaster monsters. Rigu is very shocked and asks what Itsuki is saying, and says that Itsuki will be defeated if he does not run. Saya also agrees with Rigu, saying that Itsuki just became an awakener, so he is no match for it. That is why they need to leave it to the other awakeners. Itsuki tells both of them to trust him. This makes Saya blush, and then she grabs Rigu and starts running while telling Itsuki that she will not be responsible if he gets hurt. While running, Rigu asks if it is really okay to just leave him like that, since the opponent is a disaster beast, a walking threat. While they are running, Itsuki's eyes are filled with hatred, and he is smiling because the first enemy after becoming an awakener is the one who took his parents from him. Itsuki smirks, saying that he guesses he is lucky after all. Itsuki decides to fight. The enemy is skeleton soldier number 10,369. It is level 8. Itsuki's right eye starts tearing up while he is thinking about whether he should try the new skill he just learned. Using it, he quickly moves close to the disaster monster and dodges its attack, while thinking that he will not let anyone else defeat it. Then Itsuki punches the disaster beast, and from the impact, it is sent flying into the far wall of the school building. The students who were fleeing look back and are very shocked when they see Itsuki strike the beast. The blue-haired student comments that she never thought Itsuki would be able to knock the disaster beast with a single strike. Even Uchiha is amazed, because for someone who just awakened, sending a level 8 calamity beast flying should be an impossible feat, but Itsuki's speed and power are on a completely different level compared to other level 0 awakeners. Even so, Izumi believes that there is no way Itsuki can defeat those skeleton soldiers because they have two especially troublesome abilities. First, a gift that reinforces their defense, and second, a skill called Bone Fire that burns anything it touches. The Bone Fire skill spreads around Itsuki, and seeing that makes Saya cry, Rigu worry, and Oishi feel pleased. The very next moment, Itsuki receives a notification that the system has detected the B-rank skill Bone Fire, so over-mimesis has been activated. The analysis process begins, and the moment the enemy's skill hits Itsuki, the analysis speed increases. It has not been many seconds, and the analysis is already at 57%. Uchiha becomes very worried. Meanwhile, the analysis progress reaches 77%. Izumi, watching Itsuki, realizes that Itsuki is still not fighting at full strength yet. Itsuki then points his hand toward the disaster beast and says that once the analysis is complete, it will be finished. Finally, the analysis reaches 100% and is completed. Some students complain, asking if that was really too much for someone who just awakened. The student with glasses tells him to look, because the blue lotus flower has appeared again, and if it is Itsuki, then he might pull off another miracle. Now, in the flower zone, Itsuki wonders what kind of skill he is going to get this time. The system panel appears, informing him of the completion of the Bone Fire skill analysis, and in return, Itsuki has acquired Black Ice Wall. It is currently at level 2. After reading this, Itsuki says that he could not break through the enemy's defense earlier, even with everything he had, but with his attack power boosted this much, he should be able to now. The flower zone starts opening up, and all the students are happy to see Itsuki alive and unharmed. Hope returns to them, and they say that they already knew Itsuki would make it. Uchiha wonders if Itsuki has some kind of automatic healing ability, even though he used a lightning-based skill earlier. Izumi remembers that the Order Breaker class is said to be the most enigmatic of them all, but even among such classes, Itsuki stands out, especially with all these abilities and such complete recovery. The disaster beast tries to attack again, but this time, Itsuki creates an ice armor around his body to protect himself from the burning flames. Breaking through the blue fire, Itsuki charges toward the disaster beast by shaping his hand to act like a sword. The calamity beast attacks, but to everyone's surprise, Itsuki slips past the attack in a blink. It looks like instant movement. One of the students comments that only awakened eyes could even follow something like that, but little do they know, Oishi is one thing, but even Uchiha cannot track Itsuki at all. She wonders if Itsuki is really a rookie. It is just like that time back then. After defeating the disaster beast, Itsuki comments about the skill that can form hardened armor around his body and even shape weapons however he wants. That skill is incredibly powerful for both attack and defense. Rigu then runs to Itsuki and hugs him, saying how relieved he is after finding out that Itsuki is alright. Itsuki asks about Saya's whereabouts, but it turns out that Rigu does not know either. Just a moment ago, she looked like she was about to burst into tears. Hearing that, Itsuki wonders if Saya is upset. Ajiha is so amazed and she tells her father, Izumi, that Itsuki just defeated a skeleton soldier that even a level 10 awakener would have trouble dealing with. Izumi then instructs Ajiha to stay there and oversee the cleanup. He also tells her to relay a message to the principal that Izumi is taking Itsuki with him. Rigu, meanwhile, assures Itsuki that there is no way Saya would be angry after Itsuki won. Rigu suggests that she probably went to the monument because she was afraid of falling behind Itsuki. Hearing that, Itsuki replies that he hopes that is really the case. Their moment is interrupted when Izumi comes to speak with Itsuki. Seeing this, the other students are amazed, saying that Izumi is talking with Itsuki. They wonder if Izumi is going to take Itsuki in as a disciple. Some of the students find it impossible, since the only person Izumi ever trained was Kazunari Tsutsumi, the strongest man in history. Looking at the scene, Rigu decides to give them some private time and goes to look for Saya instead. Meanwhile, Izumi tells Itsuki that he is exceptional. Itsuki does not understand, so Izumi explains that he can sense nothing but rage and hatred in Itsuki's heart. Izumi wants to understand what led Itsuki to become this way. Hearing that, Itsuki reveals that 10 years ago, his parents were killed by a calamity beast while shielding him. He was about to lose his life as well, but an awakened person saved him that day. From that day, Itsuki believed that his mother and father died because of him, but later he came to the realization that it was not true. These creatures are the root cause of everything. Back then, Itsuki made a vow that he would defeat these monsters and wipe out every last one of their kind. Itsuki's right eye starts tearing up again, and seeing that, Izumi comments that Itsuki is still crying even with a heart filled with hatred. Itsuki explains that since gaining the eyes of the dead, his tears had stopped, yet his right eye began shedding tears on its own. Because of that, he can never forget his hatred for the calamity beasts. Hearing all of this, Izumi suggests that Itsuki become his disciple. Izumi will bring Itsuki into the Savior Alliance and grant him the power he needs to pursue his goal. Since Itsuki does not know about the Savior Alliance, Izumi explains that it is an organization founded by the governments of the 5 continents, gathering powerful awakeners from across the world. Its purpose is to combat the calamity beasts in a more efficient and organized way. Think of it as the official military force against the calamity beasts. Its members are known as saviors, and they are supplied with resources such as exclusive training and high-grade weapons. Even trainees receive 10,000 gold every month. Hearing about that much gold makes Itsuki think that it is enough to buy a car. Izumi continues, saying that of course, that level of reward does not come for free. Saviors are expected to fight on the front lines at all times and safeguard the people. Honestly, the pay and resources do not matter to Itsuki. What matters most is being able to fight the calamity beasts on the front lines. For that reason, Itsuki declares his desire to become a savior as well. Every February, the Savior Alliance hosts an exam called the National Savior Tournament. Participants earn points based on performance, and only the top 100 qualify to become official saviors. Hearing that, Itsuki asks about the highest score ever recorded. So Izumi replies that it may not be the best benchmark, but the record stands at 15,000 points, set by Kazunari Tsutsumi a year ago. Izumi tells Itsuki that if he reaches 30% of that, he will pass, and if he reaches 50%, he could take first place. Hearing that, Itsuki wonders if that is the strongest light that Riga mentioned. Izumi tells Itsuki that Kazunari is different, so comparing himself to him will only lead to despair. Still, Izumi tells Itsuki that he should trust himself. With Itsuki's talent, he could one day stand on equal footing with Kazunari. Itsuki declares that he will surpass Kazunari. Seeing the resolve in Itsuki's eyes, Izumi is amazed and remembers the time when he told Kazunari that he had drawn attention and that all the young ones were trying to follow his path. Kazunari replied that simply following would not win the war against the calamity beasts. Someday, someone who surpasses him would emerge, just as the rising sun replaces the setting one. Now, seeing Izumi's expression, Itsuki thinks that the morning sun Kazunari had been waiting for has finally risen. Izumi takes Itsuki with him to another place, and after reaching there, Itsuki asks about it. So Izumi explains that those monuments function as gateways linking this world to the realm of the calamity beasts. That is why defeating the beasts alone is not enough. If the monuments remain, more will continue to emerge. This building was constructed to contain monuments that could not be destroyed. Awakeners regularly eliminate calamity beasts that appear from them. This suppresses the expansion of the breach and also serves as training. Hearing that, Itsuki asks if this is the training facility. Izumi agrees, revealing that they call them stages, and since the number and level of appearing calamity beasts cannot be controlled, they are extremely dangerous inside. The stage before them is notorious because it has the highest fatality rate among rookie stages. Izumi reveals that back then, when Kazunari was still a fledgling awakener, he cleared it in just 3 minutes and 14 seconds. So Izumi tells Itsuki that if he truly intends to surpass Kazunari, then Itsuki needs to complete it in under 3 minutes. If Itsuki clears this stage within 3 minutes, then Izumi will take Itsuki as his disciple. There, all the people recognize Izumi, and they all wonder if that is the rumored rookie next to him. Some do not believe it. They think that unless it is an awakener at the level of Kazunari, there is no way someone could walk beside Izumi. Hearing their murmurs, Itsuki wonders if Izumi is really that famous. Reaching the gate, Itsuki finds out that the difficulty level is set at level 10, which is 2 levels higher than those skeleton soldiers. Itsuki wonders just how strong the enemies inside are. Since the people there show no signs of entering the stage, Itsuki asks the reason for that. Hearing this, the people whisper to each other, wondering if Itsuki is planning to enter the stage even though he is a rookie. Ignoring them all, Itsuki goes to the reception desk and asks the receptionist if he can enter the stage. The receptionist asks about the number of challengers entering the rift, so Itsuki replies that only he will be entering. The whole area goes silent after hearing that, and the receptionist, who was calm before, gets upset and tells Itsuki to stop with the unfunny jokes. She raises her voice, explaining that this is an artificial stage, but it is still a dangerous place where people can get hurt and, in some cases, seriously injured. Hearing that, Itsuki wonders what she is talking about. The people laugh loudly. Itsuki responds that she seems to be misunderstanding something, and he really came here solely to challenge the stage. The receptionist lets out a sigh, saying that he does not have to act tough, so he should just go home. That makes Itsuki very angry, and he tells her not to make him repeat himself, and that he just wants her to let him into the stage. That is all he wants from the so-called pretty receptionist. This makes her very nervous, and she agrees to give him permission to enter, while telling him not to blame her if he gets hurt. While putting on the bracelet, Itsuki thinks that she should have just approved it from the start. Some of the people there call Itsuki an idiot. They believe that a level 0 rookie challenging a level 10 stage is reckless. They bet that Itsuki will run away in less than a minute. Before entering the stage, Itsuki thinks that his personal information is registered in the bracelet, so he can enter by scanning it. After scanning, a pop-up appears confirming Itsuki's authorization, and then he stretches his body, saying that the promise is within 3 minutes, so he should begin. Itsuki enters the stage, and the timer starts. When Itsuki enters the stage, he finds that the interior space is wider than he expected. Even though it is artificial, this is his first time entering a stage. Finally, Itsuki encounters some monsters and uses his ice shield to fight against with spirit number 1307. Itsuki easily defeats that monster, and after defeating it, Itsuki smirks while looking at the axe he makes using the ice wall skill and comments that, as expected, axes work best on trees. Meanwhile, outside the stage, Ajiha asks her father, Izumi, about the reason he made Itsuki enter this stage specifically, even though there are plenty of other stages for rookies. Hearing that, Izumi reveals that it's because Itsuki said he would surpass Kazunari, so Izumi brought him to the very first stage Kazunari had challenged. Hearing this, Ajiha looks worried and comments that unless Itsuki steps beyond the bounds of humanity, surpassing Kazunari is impossible. Listening to the way she phrases it, Izumi asks if, in Ajiha's mind, Kazunari has already surpassed the bounds of humanity. Ajiha replies that she used to think Kazunari was kind and approachable, but she once saw him instantly defeat a level 97 disaster beast, and at that moment, his eyes were cold. Those eyes were like those of a deity. She couldn't believe they belonged to a human. Izumi adds that Itsuki also possesses potential that does not fall behind Kazunari's. Right now, Itsuki is just an unpolished gem. If Kazunari is likened to a deity-like existence who saves people, then Itsuki is a devil consumed by hatred, the exact opposite of Kazunari. The scene then shifts back inside the stage, where Itsuki has already defeated the weaker monsters while thinking that against disaster beasts of this level, over-mimesis won't even activate. The very next moment, a disaster beast that poses a real threat appears. Sensing this, Itsuki immediately attacks and defeats it, then wonders if that is the end. He questions whether a level 10 disaster beast is really only this strong, but quickly disagrees. That's why Itsuki believes there must be something more. Suddenly, the system detects a B-rank skill, self-regeneration, and over-mimesis activates. The system begins analyzing. Not only that, But Itsuki also notices that the monster starts regenerating again and restrains him. He knew it wouldn't be that easy. The regenerated monster is Wood Spirit number 520 from the Wood Spirit race, and it is level 10. Itsuki activates Black Ice Wall to break free, and to stop the regeneration, he has to deal massive damage in a short time. Right now, the analysis progress is only 17%, but when Itsuki defeats it again, the progress increases to 19%. The more he defeats the monster, the faster the analysis progresses. However, the monster keeps regenerating no matter how many times Itsuki takes it down. With one final strike, Itsuki strikes at the monster with a powerful strike, thinking it won't regenerate anymore. His mana is running low from using Black Ice Wall for so long, but the monster regenerates again, and the analysis is now at 60%. While avoiding its attacks, Itsuki finds it extremely troublesome since it still won't go down after all that. But every time it regenerates, the analysis speed of overmimesis increases. Itsuki deactivates Black Ice Wall to reduce mana consumption and uses Thunder Waves to evade while keeping his distance. Keeping this up until the analysis is complete is the path to victory, but he doesn't have much time left before the 3-minute limit. Right now, the analysis is at 75%. Itsuki decides to activate Thunder Waves and Black Ice Wall at the same time to maximize his damage and force the monster to keep regenerating continuously. This will increase the analysis speed even further. He keeps fighting while thinking that if overmimesis doesn't complete before his mana reaches 0, then he will lose here. The progress reaches 80%, and Itsuki attacks again with Black Ice Wall, saying that if he falls here, then it only means this was as far as he could go. The progress rises to 85%, and Itsuki attacks again, but before his strike can land, the monster strikes lands, injuring Itsuki. The reason he couldn't evade or counter was because he had run out of mana, but the analysis is now at 99%. Just as Itsuki expected, he claims it is his victory, because overmimesis does not require mana to activate. The analysis reaches 100%, and a flower-shaped notification appears, informing Itsuki that self-regeneration analysis is complete and that he has acquired Lotus Burst. The skill Lotus Burst is level 2. After acquiring the Lotus Burst skill, all stat points increase by 20. All self-inflicted debuffs are removed, and his wounds are fully healed. Itsuki then attacks the monster using Lotus Burst and claps, causing multiple fiery bursts to stack in one place. He comments that the Lotus Burst skill is not bad at all, and that it has this much power using only 1/3 of his mana. With that, Itsuki expects that dealing with weaker disaster beasts will be much easier from now on. However, he did not expect overmimesis to even restore his mana after it had dropped to 0. Itsuki then notices a green core and wonders what it is. Meanwhile, outside the stage, the receptionist is very worried about Itsuki because it has been almost 3 minutes since rookie Itsuki entered, and there is still no sign of him coming out. She suggests that they should quickly call the rescue squad. Ajiha comments that she does not think Itsuki would lose to a level 10 disaster beast, but clearing it within 3 minutes still seems impossible. Izumi remains silent, and suddenly the panel announcing that a new record has been achieved. Ajiha is very surprised because Itsuki cleared it even though 3 minutes have not yet passed. The challenge is a success, and Itsuki has cleared the stage in just 2 minutes and 14 seconds, setting a new stage record. Itsuki then comes out of the stage, and the people who witnessed this comment that Itsuki actually survived. They also realize that Itsuki is 1 minute faster than Kazunari. Ignoring all of that, Itsuki asks Izumi if he will now officially instruct him. Itsuki calls him sensei, and hearing that, Izumi compliments him, saying it is as expected of his student. Ajiha, seeing this, is very shocked that her father is actually happy. It has been a long time since she has seen him like this. The Awakeners there are also shocked after finding out that Itsuki is Izumi's student. The receptionist, who had been acting strict earlier, comes over blushing to give Itsuki a gift for setting the new record. Not only that, she also apologizes to him for saying rude things before. Itsuki is surprised that he received something and tells the receptionist that it is fine, because a level 0 rookie challenging a stage like that certainly seems reckless. Itsuki continues, saying that even though he is a complete stranger, his situation would not normally concern the receptionist. But despite that, she still tried to stop him. That is proof that she was worried. After saying that, Itsuki thanks her. This delivers a heavy emotional blow to the receptionist, and she replies humbly, saying not at all. For some reason, this makes Ajiha angry, and they start walking while telling Itsuki that they are leaving him behind. Itsuki then walks with them, and along the way, Ajiha tells him not to get overconfident just because he became her father Izumi's student. Izumi comments that it seems a stage of this level is too mild for Itsuki, so he suggests raising the difficulty. Izumi reveals that the current Itsuki can probably challenge an advanced stage. It turns out that Itsuki does not know about advanced stages either. Uchiha explains that level is not the only thing that determines a disaster beast's strength. The most important factor is the species. There are species that lack intelligence and move only by instinct, making them easy to deal with. But there are also species that possess intelligence equal to or greater than humans. They are troublesome existences that cannot be compared to average disaster beasts. Essentially, awakeners and disaster beasts are almost the same type of creature, but it is said that at this stage, only humans possess jobs. In other words, stats differ depending on the species. The advanced stages are where those powerful species or intelligent disaster beasts exist. The difficulty of clearing them is several times that of normal stages. And since most of the advanced stages on the northern continent are in the North 4th District, Itsuki's next destination is there. After explaining all that, Uchiha asks if there are any other questions. Itsuki becomes very upset when he finds out that the two beasts he defeated did not have intelligence. They also did not react when attacked, which means they did not have a sense of pain either. Thinking about that, Itsuki asks if a disaster beast with intelligence would then have a sense of pain. Uchiha is very surprised and wonders what kind of thoughts could give off such an intense presence. She wonders what Itsuki is thinking to give off that kind of aura. Meanwhile, near the stage, the Awakeners talk about the rumor that Izumi is going to have Itsuki challenge an advanced stage. The scene then shifts to North District Governor named Kinoshita Reiji. One of his bodyguards asks Reiji when he will be departing. Hearing that, Reiji replies that all stages in the North 4th District are under his control, so when he goes is entirely up to him. Then Reiji adds that waiting in line is the way of commoners. Itsuki opens the gift he received for achieving a new record, and he realizes that it looks familiar. Seeing that, Izumi asks Itsuki if he has seen a karma stone before. Itsuki confirms that after defeating the disaster beasts inside the stage, something identical to this had dropped. When Itsuki inspects it more closely, he notices a slight difference. The one he saw before had a green color, but this one is not very greenish. Uchiha recognizes it and reveals that Itsuki received an intermediate karma stone in a beginner stage. Hearing that, Itsuki asks what exactly a karma stone is. Realizing that Itsuki is still a rookie, Uchiha decides to explain karma stones in detail, which are also known as experience stones. After a disaster beast or an awakened individual is defeated, karma, or an invisible substance that can be considered experience points, is released from them. In other words, a karma stone is a stone that contains karma. Using a karma stone to absorb the karma inside is one method of leveling up. However, Uchiha finds it very strange because karma stones should not occur naturally. She wonders why it appeared in that stage and suspects that it is probably due to Itsuki's gift. Izumi adds that it is because Itsuki cannot level up. Hearing that, both Itsuki and Uchiha ask if it is because of his gift, so Izumi explains that normally, the karma of the defeated is absorbed by the one who defeats them. However, even though Itsuki defeated two disaster beasts, he did not level up, which means the karma was not absorbed. However, karma that has manifested does not disappear without reason. If Izumi's speculation is correct, then the karma from the disaster beasts that attacked the school was absorbed by the awakened who were present there, meaning Oishi, Izumi, and Uchiha. Meanwhile, a stage is an enclosed space. Itsuki could not absorb the generated karma, and there was no alternative recipient, so it condensed and became a karma stone. Coming to the realization that Itsuki cannot truly level up, Uchiha asks how his stats increase. Itsuki tries to explain, but Izumi becomes very angry at Uchiha and scolds her, saying that a awakened's gift is top secret and must not be disclosed. He asks if she has forgotten that rule. Uchiha becomes very frightened and immediately apologizes. Izumi then informs Itsuki that he can either keep the karma stone for himself or sell it, and the choice is his. After that, Izumi tells them that he has a commander-in-chief meeting of the 5 continents to attend, so he will be away for a while. During that time, Uchiha will look after him, but before Izumi leaves, there are several things he wants Itsuki to remember. First, keep their relationship confidential. Second, do not disclose his gift to others. Third, Itsuki needs to clear at least 6 advanced stages before Izumi returns. Fourth, Itsuki should do what he believes is right without hesitation, and no matter what happens, Izumi will support him. Itsuki agrees and confirms this with a smile. The scene then shifts to the North 4th District's Flaming Rock execution ground. 2 awakeners are arguing with a guard who is stopping them from entering the stage. One of the guards explains that the stage has been reserved by the Kinoshita family's son, so they need to go home for today. The yellow-haired awakener replies that he does not care. The blue-haired awakener tells the guards to let them in first because Reiji is not even there yet. The blue-haired awakener adds that he does not care which rich kid Reiji is, and if the guards will not let them in, he will report this to the Awakened Guild. While he is saying that, a huge guy appears and strikes the blue-haired awakener, sending him into the wall. Seeing that, the yellow-haired awakener activates his skill to attack the huge man, but it has no effect. The yellow-haired awakener becomes very frightened, finding it hard to believe because his B-rank skill does not work on him. The huge man has covered his entire body with iron, and while striking back, he says that it does not hurt at all, and strikes him with his hardened head. Another person reveals that he is Oga Takaru, one of Reiji's 4 pillars, and a level 12 gold elementalist. Hearing that, the onlookers comment that it's no wonder the duo lost. Oga warns that he will not forgive anyone who tries to enter a stage without Reiji's permission. Anyone who resists will face the same fate as these two. Seeing that, the guards taunt Oga, telling him not to go too far. After saying this, they all laugh as Oga pushes the awakeners away from the entrance of the gate, which Itsuki catches effortlessly. Seeing Itsuki, they wonder about him and ask if he didn't hear the warning not to intervene. Oga glares at Itsuki, calling him a newbie and reiterating that nobody passes here without Reiji's permission. He warns Itsuki that if he does not leave quietly, he will end up like the others. Itsuki quickly understands the situation and realizes that he cannot enter the stage without defeating Oga. Adjusting her glasses, Ajiha informs Itsuki that she will notify the North 4th District Administrator, since this kind of behavior cannot be allowed. Itsuki, glaring at Oga, replies that it won't be necessary because teacher Izumi told him he could act according to what he thinks is right without hesitation. Hearing that, Ajiha grabs the injured awakener, while Itsuki tells her he will leave their treatment to her. Oga is puzzled. Even though Itsuki is level 0, he is not intimidated and stands up to him. Oga wonders if it's because Itsuki has a rare job. Soon, he realizes he feels pressured but reassures himself that rare job or not, he is 12 levels ahead, so the stat difference cannot be bridged. Oga is shocked when Itsuki suddenly charges at him without warning, but he quickly materializes his face to block the attack. Seeing that, some awakeners wonder if Itsuki is really level 0. Oga, frustrated, forces a smile. Itsuki realizes that Oga blocked the punch using metallization. Afterward, Oga metallizes his hands to strike Itsuki while complimenting his speed, but the attack lacks sufficient power. Itsuki dodges and falls back, thinking that to land a successful surprise attack against an enemy above level 10, he needs to increase his agility with Thunderbreaker. The system has now detected a C-rank skill, materialization, and activated over mimesis. Reading that, Itsuki thinks that if it's threatening enough for over mimesis to activate, he needs to get serious. Normal attacks cannot break through the defense of a metallized area. The analysis progresses to 5% completed. Itsuki strikes, but Oga blocks the attack with materialization, taunting him for being a weakling with no power or speed. Itsuki realizes that Oga has let his guard down, thinking that was the full extent of his speed. He then accelerates using Thunderbreaker. Oga is astonished to see Itsuki harnessing the lightning element. Itsuki is now so fast that Oga does not even have time to metallize. Itsuki continues punching relentlessly, preventing Oga from reacting or reinforcing his defense. The analysis progress accelerates rapidly, reaching 66%. Witnessing Itsuki's flurry of punches, the onlookers are shocked and frightened, wondering how a level 0 awakener can use skills from multiple jobs. Meanwhile, Oga, under the relentless assault, realizes he has no time to metallize and questions why a level 0 awakener could move this fast. At this rate, he believes he is at risk of losing. Oga glances at the other guards, who are just watching and not intervening. Gritting his teeth, he resolves that he has no choice but to give it everything. He channels all his power, as his entire body transforms into metal. At this point, the over-mimesis analysis reaches 88% completion. Acting arrogantly, Oga tells Itsuki that he is grateful because he has never successfully metallized his entire body before. Thanks to Itsuki pushing him, the metallized areas now increase his defense by 50%, and his gift further boosts it by 50% while stationary. In other words, Oga's defense now exceeds 500. The common awakeners observing the fight are stunned to learn that Oga's defense exceeds 500 at level 12. Meanwhile, Itsuki's analysis progress reaches 98%, and as the lotus flower begins forming, he thinks that if his speculation is correct, full-body metallization requires a significant amount of magic. If Oga has allocated most of his stat points to defense, his magic shouldn't be very high. The analysis progresses to 99%. Hearing this, Oga scoffs, calling it a lie and nonsense, while internally questioning whether Itsuki is really a level 0 awakener, since his intuition seems remarkably sharp. Itsuki enters the lotus flower zone and tells Oga not to worry, claiming he won't use the boring tactic of whittling down Oga's magic to 0. Instead, Itsuki intends to end the fight quickly. The analysis reaches 100% completion, and the lotus flower appears, visible to everyone. Ajiha, who is healing the other Awakeners, notices it and thinks, there it is. This blue lotus flower means Itsuki is going to get even stronger. Another Awakener sees the flower and asks if this is the skill of the level 0 Itsuki. They note that it doesn't appear to be an attack skill, so they wonder how Itsuki plans to defeat Oga with it. With the analysis of metallization complete, Itsuki now acquires the Clear Orb skill, a level 1 ability. Reading this, Itsuki realizes that, since the sphere ignores defense, he can definitely deal damage. The problem is its flight speed, only 1 meter per second, so even ordinary opponents could dodge it. Therefore, timing is crucial. He decides to thoroughly break Oga's defense. Itsuki then launches the Clear Orb at Oga, challenging him to try to dodge it. The spectators watch in anticipation, eager to see what kind of power a level 0 like Itsuki could possibly unleash to break through the defense of a level 12 specialist guard. However, when Itsuki activates his skill and produces what appears to be a tiny black orb, the crowd is visibly disappointed. The attack looks underwhelming, almost harmless. Oga, seeing the small orb, grows overconfident. Convinced that such a minor attack poses no threat, he doesn't even bother to move or cancel his gift effect. But in the very next moment, the black orb breaks through the armor and injures his arm. Itsuki deliberately targeted Oga's arm because he is human. Had Oga been a disaster beast, Itsuki would have not shown mercy. With Oga defeated, Itsuki calmly walks forward and orders Oga's comrades to take him and leave. The same crowd that had just doubted him now erupts in cheers, praising his composure and overwhelming skill. Many even approach him with offers to team up and clear the Flame Rock execution ground together. Since the stage's defense is said to rival Oga's, Itsuki sees it as the perfect opportunity to further enhance the speed of his Clear Orb. Choosing efficiency over companionship, Itsuki declines all offers and decides to go alone. His decision sparks whispers among the crowd, who begin accusing him of becoming arrogant after defeating Oga. Ajiha, however, approaches him with genuine concern. She warns that the disaster beasts inside have defenses comparable to Oga's and worries whether Itsuki's magic reserves will be enough. Itsuki reassures her calmly, causing her to blush before quickly insisting she was not worried at all. Before leaving to treat the injured, she warns him about the Stone Tribe, creatures with little intelligence but strong group coordination, and advises him to manage his magic carefully. After scanning his identity, Itsuki enters the rift and immediately encounters a massive group of Stone Tribe monsters. Their stats are significantly higher than those of beasts in previous stages. Seeing this, Itsuki begins testing his Clear Orbs on them. The results are exactly as he expected. The stone monsters fall, and the orb's flight speed increases by 100%. Because these monsters are slow and have poor evasion, they are ideal targets for Clear Orb. After repeatedly upgrading the skill, Itsuki is left with only 2 shots, as each orb consumes 50 magic points. 2 monsters are charging toward him, and a hidden boss remains undetected, leaving 3 enemies in total. That means he must eliminate 2 targets with a single orb. His Clear Orb reaches level 10, but his magic is nearly depleted. The effort proves worthwhile. The orb's speed increases to 5 meters per second, allowing him to catch even moving enemies. While reviewing his system panel, Itsuki suddenly detects a B-rank monster, the giant stone man of the Stone Tribe. With total stats of 777 and an enormous body, the creature poses a serious threat. With no other option, Itsuki activates Thunderbreaker and charges forward, reaching the monster's head to strike with Clear Orb. However, he halts mid-attack, realizing the orb may not be strong enough to deal significant damage. Sensing hesitation, the monster counterattacks, forcing Itsuki to activate Black Wall. Even so, he is sent crashing back by the overwhelming impact. The monster proves far tougher than anticipated. At that critical moment, the system detects the Gigantification skill and automatically activates over Mimesis to copy it. Meanwhile, Reiji receives news that Oga has been defeated by a mere level 10 rookie who forced his way into the stage. Furious, Reiji learns that most awakened individuals above level 30 are currently occupied with handling a surge of descending events. Instead of gathering more details, he immediately heads to the Flame Rock execution ground, known for its stubborn disaster beasts that take time to conquer. As he changes clothes, he mutters that opposing the Kinoshita family may have been a mistake. Back in the rift, Itsuki completes the analysis of the B-rank Gigantification skill. Instead of acquiring it as a separate ability, his clear orb evolves to level 2 with new effects. The passive speed boost increases from 100% to 200%, and most importantly, Itsuki gains the ability to freely adjust the orb's size using magic. With the upgrade activated through overmimesis, all of Itsuki's stats increase by 20. All debuffs are removed, and his injuries are completely healed. His total stats now reach 1,120. Without hesitation, Itsuki pours every remaining point of magic into creating the largest clear orb he can generate. The massive orb forms and obliterates the giant stone man in a single decisive strike. Although the attack reduces Itsuki's magic to 0, the battle ends in complete success. After pouring every last drop of magic into his attack, the orb Itsuki creates becomes enormous. Its flight speed increases to 7 meters per second. At this rate, if he clears the stage just 2 more times, his orb could eventually move at speeds comparable to a car. Satisfied with the result, Itsuki finally checks the passive description he had been ignoring until now, and realizes how valuable it truly is. The passive ability of Lotus Burst expands the range of all his skills. That means Clear Orb's effective range also increases. In theory, if Itsuki continues strengthening Lotus Burst's passive effect, he could one day eliminate disaster beasts from thousands, or even tens of thousands, of meters away. Meanwhile, outside the stage, the spectators are stunned. Itsuki has cleared the stage in just 3 minutes and 1 second, setting a brand new record. When he exits the rift, the crowd is even more shocked to discover that he is still level 0 despite breaking the record. Uchiha is visibly relieved to see Itsuki emerge completely unharmed once again, and having surpassed Jin's previous record. As they talk, Itsuki notices a butterfly fluttering around her. Uchiha explains that she is a Shikigami user, and the butterfly is her Shikigami. Itsuki is fascinated. He finds it beautiful and can't hide his curiosity. Since he has been wondering for some time, he finally asks Uchiha about the different types of awakened jobs. She is surprised that he doesn't already know, as it is considered common knowledge. Awakened jobs are broadly divided into 4 categories. The first type is Elementalist. These awakened can control one of the 7 elements: fire, water, wood, metal, earth, wind, and lightning. Elementalists make up the largest portion of awakened and generally have the highest minimum combat capability. Han, and even Oga, belong to this category. The second type is Shikigami users. They summon spiritual entities known as Shikigami that obey only their master. These beings have been connected to their summoner since birth and grow alongside them. Uchiha reveals that she is level 6 with a grade 2 gift, while her Shikigami, Tamachu, is already level 15. When she finishes explaining, Uchiha asks if Itsuki has any questions. Without hesitation and without sugarcoating, Itsuki asks why her level is lower than her Shikigami's. Uchiha calmly clarifies that Shikigami absorb experience as well, so they naturally remain at a higher level than their master. Hearing this, Itsuki casually remarks that in that case, it would be more efficient to target the Shikigami user directly rather than fight the Shikigami. Once again, Uchiha senses a faintly unsettling aura from him. Curious about the remaining categories, Itsuki asks about the third job. Uchiha explains that the third type is the most mysterious and least understood: Order Breaker, Itsuki's own job. Order Breakers are unique because each one possesses completely different abilities. Some can alter the size of their bodies at will. Others can create endless clones. Some can stretch their bodies freely like rubber. Unlike regular jobs, whose skills are ranked from C to S, Order Breakers possess independent Z-rank skills that exist outside the standard system. Because of their exclusive and unpredictable abilities, Order Breakers are treated with special caution. If their abilities become known to enemies, they lose their greatest advantage. That is why Uchiha's father scolded her earlier for asking about Itsuki's skills. However, Itsuki is unusual even among Order Breakers. From what Uchiha has observed, he can use at least 3 skills, and 2 of them resemble abilities typically exclusive to elementalists. This revelation makes Itsuki wary, so he smoothly changes the subject and asks about the 4th job. Uchiha refuses to explain, teasing that she will only tell him when he sees it for himself. She calls it a small punishment for him not sharing much about himself. Itsuki simply goes along with it. As they walk, Uchiha informs him that the students he saved earlier are safe. Itsuki plans to clear the stage several more times to strengthen Clear Orb, but Uchiha reveals that stages have cooldown periods, and this particular stage has an especially long one. He won't be able to enter again for at least 2 days. Now he understands why Reiji monopolizes stages. Since he cannot further improve Clear Orb for the moment, Itsuki decides to focus on raising Lotus Burst instead. He asks Uchiha about stages filled with large numbers of disaster beasts. She mentions one such stage. The individual beasts are not particularly strong, but their sheer numbers, especially the overwhelming swarms of locust-type disaster beasts, cause many awakened to retreat before even attempting it. Even after hearing this, Itsuki decides to go. Uchiha's concern stems from the fact that she has never seen him use Lotus Burst in combat, so she does not realize he possesses wide-area attacks. Those nearby who overhear their conversation are shocked and quickly leave the stage zone, fearing Reiji's arrival. Moments later, Reiji arrives, only to find the area completely empty. His target has vanished, and the stage has already been cleared within 30 minutes. Furious, Reiji orders his guard to contact the Hound and have him track down Itsuki. The scene shifts to a man desperately trying to escape from Reiji's Hound. He is eventually caught and eliminated. The Hound's name is Charles. After completing his task, Charles receives a phone call. He is visibly surprised to hear that Oga has been seriously injured. With a new target in mind, Charles sets his sights on fresh prey. Itsuki and Uchiha arrive at the Locust Wilderness stage. Vast fields stretch endlessly in every direction, creating the perfect habitat for swarming creatures. Uchiha explains that calamity beasts usually choose environments that suit them when invading this world. For that reason, learning to infer the type of beast from the surrounding terrain is an essential skill for any awakened. As Itsuki observes the area more carefully, he notices there is no reception desk at the entrance. Uchiha lets out a heavy sigh and explains that this stage is considered so dangerous that officials are already discussing dismantling it entirely. Confused, Itsuki asks why a low-level stage would need to be dismantled. Uchiha clarifies that in most stages, awakened individuals can retreat if the situation becomes overwhelming. However, in this stage, the calamity beasts are unusually aggressive and appear in abnormal numbers. If someone lets their guard down for even a second, they can be surrounded by countless locusts and quickly overwhelmed. Rather than feeling intimidated, Itsuki sees it as a perfect opportunity. Uchiha complains, asking why he always seems so eager to throw himself into danger. While scanning his identity panel, Itsuki calmly reassures her that he has no intention of losing to a swarm of insects. His confidence convinces Uchiha that he will likely make it back safely again. Suddenly, Uchiha remembers something crucial. She forgot to mention that the locusts continue spawning endlessly until the boss is defeated. Alarmed, she prepares to enter the stage to warn him. However, she senses a dangerous presence nearby, Charles. Inside the stage, Itsuki deliberately stirs the dormant locusts to provoke them. After checking their stats, he discovers that each individual creature is surprisingly low level. That works perfectly for him, as they meet the conditions required for Lotus Explosion. A massive swarm of wicked locusts surges toward him. Itsuki calmly casts Lotus Explosion and waits for the exact moment they enter his effective range. When the timing is perfect, he activates the skill and eliminates the entire swarm in one decisive blast. The result is immediate. Lotus Explosion levels up to level 2, granting a 110% increase to his overall skill range. The explosion's diameter expands to 10.5 meters. With enough mana for roughly 10 more casts, and potentially over 100 eliminations per use, Itsuki calculates that he could massively boost his skill range in a short time. However, as he waits for the stage completion notification, nothing appears. In the next instant, his detection system identifies a C-rank skill called Mother's Will, and over-mimesis activates automatically. Turning around, Itsuki sees yet another swarm of wicked locusts approaching. He realizes he made a mistake. He assumed there was no boss controlling the stage. Fortunately, he can continue expanding Lotus Explosion's range, but he still has no idea where the boss is hiding. Itsuki decides to eliminate the smaller enemies repeatedly to force the boss to reveal itself. With each wave he defeats, Lotus Explosion's blast radius grows further, eventually reaching a 16-meter diameter. Yet even after wiping out multiple swarms, the boss refuses to appear. Worse still, the locusts continue spawning endlessly. Itsuki calculates that he only has enough mana for 9 more casts. He continues clearing wave after wave. After defeating 9 hordes, he boosts Lotus Explosion's range by an astonishing 990%. Now, however, he has just enough mana for one final cast. Despite that, another swarm forms in the distance, and still there is no sign of the boss. Without retreating, Itsuki unleashes his final Lotus Explosion, eradicating the swarm, but completely exhausting his mana in the process. At that moment, his system analysis reaches 91% completion. Itsuki begins to notice something unusual. After the first wave, all newly spawned Calamity Beasts are level 1 and noticeably smaller, as if freshly born. He deduces that the boss possesses an ability similar to infinite reproduction. The stage will never clear unless the boss itself is defeated. Just as his mana runs dry, the analysis completes. Itsuki acquires a new skill, Mana Detection. Thanks to Lotus Explosion's passive effect, its effective range now exceeds 1,000 meters. Even better, he can recover mana each time he detects an enemy unit, making this passive effect perfectly suited for this stage. Seizing the opportunity, Itsuki activates Mana Detection and pinpoints the boss's location. He then uses Clear Orb to force the hidden boss into the open. The moment it reveals itself, Itsuki eliminates it decisively. With the source gone, he proceeds to clear the remaining wicked locusts. The rewards are extraordinary. His total skill range increases by 1,210%. Lotus Explosion's blast radius expands to 65.5 meters, and True Clear Orb's flight distance extends to 131 meters. The stage announces a new record, 17 minutes and 7 seconds. Satisfied, Itsuki considers challenging the stage again after its reset. For now, he hurries back, assuming Uchiha must be worried. He even imagines her pretending to act cold once he returns safely, despite her genuinely caring nature. Her inability to be honest about her feelings strikes him as unexpectedly endearing. However, the moment Itsuki exits the stage, he is met with a shocking sight. Uchiha is being held by the neck by Charles. The moment Itsuki sees Uchiha being restrained, his expression turns cold. Charles calmly explains that he was only trying to extract information about Itsuki, but Uchiha refused to say a word. Hearing that, Itsuki's anger surges. He gives Charles a chilling warning. If he releases her immediately, Itsuki will settle for sparing him with only half the consequences. Charles bursts into laughter, clearly not taking the threat seriously. In an instant, Itsuki disappears in a flash of speed and charges forward, catching Charles off guard. Reacting quickly, Charles summons his Shikigami, Death Hound, to intercept the attack. At that very moment, Overmimesis detects the B-rank Shikigami skill, Death Hound, and begins its analysis. From the system's data, Itsuki realizes that Charles is also a Shikigami user, just like Uchiha. Charles narrows his eyes. He notices that Itsuki moves without wasting a single motion and possesses incredible speed. It suddenly makes sense why Oga lost. He never had the chance to metalize. Still, Charles believes victory is within his grasp. After all, he has his Death Hound and a hostage. The analysis progress reaches 34%. The Death Hound lunges at Itsuki with crushing force, capable of overwhelming any opponent with defense below 30. However, Charles is stunned when Itsuki blocks the attack using an ice-like armor forming over his hand. Without hesitation, Itsuki counters with Clear Orb, destroying the Death Hound in a single strike. Itsuki assumes that without their Shikigami, a Shikigami user is defenseless. What he doesn't realize is that Shikigami can respawn as long as their master remains alive. With the B-rank skill Respawn Desire, Death Hound's revival time is drastically shortened. Moments later, the Death Hound reappears and attacks from behind. But Itsuki has kept Mana Detection active ever since acquiring it. He senses the ambush instantly and evades. The analysis is nearly complete. Itsuki worries that if the Blue Lotus manifests visibly through Overmimesis, Charles might grow suspicious. Meanwhile, Charles is beginning to panic. He now understands that Itsuki possesses greater power and speed than even the Death Hound, along with detection abilities that make surprise attacks impossible. Unable to gain the upper hand, Charles resorts to threatening Uchiha's life. At that exact moment, the analysis completes. Itsuki acquires a new ability, Shikigami Eater. He also discovers that he can choose whether or not to manifest the Blue Lotus when using Overmimesis. Skipping its appearance means losing the recovery and debuff removal effects, but that is acceptable for now. After the previous stage, Itsuki is already in near-perfect condition. Without hesitation, Itsuki activates Shikigami Eater and seizes control of the Death Hound. He kicks it toward Charles, making the situation painfully clear. Panicking, Charles once again threatens to harm Uchiha. In response, Itsuki calmly raises both hands and pretends to surrender. Charles smirks, growing arrogant once more. Taking advantage of the pause, Itsuki asks why he is being targeted despite never crossing paths with Charles before. Charles reveals that Reiji was furious about Itsuki entering a North District 4 stage without permission. Charles was ordered to capture him. Hearing Reiji's name again, Itsuki decides he would rather confront him directly and settle the matter face to face. Charles laughs and declares that Itsuki will indeed meet Reiji. Confidently, he orders the Death Hound to attack. But this time, the command doesn't follow his will. Instead, Itsuki issues a new order. The Death Hound is to strike Charlie, and Itsuki frees Uchiha. Charles is horrified as his own Shikigami turns on him. The Death Hound obeys Itsuki without hesitation, then moves to stand at his side. Trembling and drenched in sweat, Charles realizes he has completely lost control. Itsuki coldly declares that anyone who lays a hand on those he protects will regret it. Desperate, Charles begs for mercy. He claims he had no choice but to obey Reiji's orders. He even offers to act as bait to lure Reiji out. However, the moment Itsuki begins to respond, Charles reveals his true nature and attempts a sudden attack. Itsuki effortlessly dodges and states calmly that he is more than capable of dealing with Reiji on his own. With no hesitation left, Itsuki gives a final command. The Death Hound is to eliminate Charles. Charles desperately apologizes and pleads for his life, but Itsuki remains unmoved, and so does the Death Hound. After the confrontation ends, Itsuki slowly lifts his gaze toward the ceiling of the stage. In a steady voice, he asks whoever is hiding above just how long they intend to continue watching. The hidden observer finally steps out after realizing he has been discovered. Without hesitation, Itsuki turns toward him with a fierce expression and demands to know whether he is working with Charles the Hound. The man immediately denies being an enemy and reveals his face, asking Itsuki to at least hear him out. Itsuki, however, shows no interest. After completing the command, the Death Hound disappears, leaving the mysterious man visibly startled. That reaction only strengthens his belief that Itsuki is the one person who can help him. The man quickly follows and introduces himself as Iberia, praising Itsuki's combat ability. Itsuki briefly introduces himself in return, but continues walking. Iberia offers karma stones and other valuable rewards in exchange for assistance. Yet none of it makes Itsuki pause. Confused, Iberia begins to doubt himself. Then he recalls his father's advice. Rewards must match a person's true need. Offer a blade to someone seeking vengeance. Offer medicine to someone who is injured. Realizing his mistake, Iberia changes his offer. He proposes a healing item, pointing out that the nearest hospital is far away. At that, Itsuki finally stops. Iberia admits he cannot fully heal Uchiha on the spot, but he can stabilize her condition. Itsuki agrees. Iberia carefully heals Uchiha with the method he knows. Noticing Itsuki's unfamiliar expression, Iberia explains that modern firearms are largely ineffective against disaster beasts. That is why conventional weaponry cannot be relied upon in awakened combat. Instead, skilled crafters use parts of disaster beasts to forge specialized anti-disaster beast equipment known as motto tools. Motto tools are classified into 4 ranks. Normal motto tools function like ordinary weapons, but are capable of harming disaster beasts and awakened. Rare motto tools not only deal damage, but also partially increase the owner's stats. Epic motto tools provide stat boosts along with unique special effects. And finally, the pinnacle of craftsmanship, unique motto tools. These grant massive stat enhancements and possess powerful, one-of-a-kind abilities. Crafters themselves are not known for high combat power, and their numbers are few. However, because they can forge such vital equipment, they are respected by all awakened. From this explanation, Itsuki quickly deduces that Iberia's father must be a crafter. Iberia eagerly confirms, and adds that his father is no ordinary one. While many crafters spend a lifetime without ever producing a unique tool, only 10 unique motto tools currently exist across the 5 continents, and 3 of them were created by his father. For that reason, he is known as the Crafter King of the Northern Continent. Despite the impressive title, Itsuki shows little reaction. Instead, he focuses on analyzing the crossbow Charles had been using. Iberia is surprised. Most people would try to gain favor upon hearing about his father's reputation. Yet Itsuki seems far more interested in the weapon itself. Iberia explains that the crossbow is a rare Mado tool. As a launch-type weapon, it can convert ordinary ammunition into Mado ammunition upon firing, meaning Itsuki would not need to worry about special arrows. Suddenly, the crossbow vanishes from Itsuki's hands, and he receives a notification confirming ownership. Iberia clarifies that once a Mado tool is linked to its owner, it can be stored and summoned at will. After ensuring Uchiha is stabilized, Itsuki thanks Iberia for the assistance. He tells him they can discuss cooperation further, after he handles unfinished business with Reiji. That statement makes Iberia tense. He reveals that they share the same target. Itsuki raises a brow, asking if Iberia has also fallen out of favor with Reiji. Iberia shakes his head and clarifies that he wants Itsuki to team up with him for the Salvation Alliance National Tournament qualifiers, which will take place the day after tomorrow. Itsuki recalls Uchiha mentioning the event and the requirement to reach the top 10 in order to advance to the main tournament. That is precisely why he has been clearing stages relentlessly over the past few days. Iberia further explains that the qualifiers are held by continent, and the Northern Continent's event will take place in North Sector 4. As the son of the North Sector 4 manager, Reiji is naturally determined to qualify. Moreover, Reiji's older brother is already recognized as a savior. If Reiji fails to make the top 10, it would bring embarrassment to the Kinoshita family name. Reiji's obsession with control becomes clear. He's been monopolizing all the stages in North Sector 4 to level up for the upcoming tournament. Curious, Itsuki turns to Iberia and asks why someone as weak as him would insist on teaming up with someone like Itsuki. Without hesitation, Iberia answers honestly, because Itsuki is strong. With Itsuki by his side, Iberia believes he can pass the qualifiers. Itsuki then questions why Iberia is so desperate to qualify this year. After all, he could always try again next year. But Iberia reveals the deeper reason, his admiration for his father's Mado tools. Every tool his father crafted was more than a weapon, it was a work of art. Iberia had grown up dreaming of becoming awakened and fighting disaster beasts using the tools his father forged. Just 1 month ago, Iberia finally awakened. Fueled by excitement, he asked his father to create a Mado tool just for him. But his father refused. After much pleading, his father agreed, but with one condition. Iberia would only receive a Mado tool if he managed to qualify for the national tournament. That's why Iberia is determined to win this year, no matter what. Itsuki then asks why Iberia insists on partnering with him. Surely, with his father's reputation, others would line up to join forces. Iberia responds firmly. If he relied on his father's name, he'd never receive the Mado tools. His father made that perfectly clear. Besides, according to Iberia's intel, nearly all of the top contenders have already been bought out by Reiji. The remaining awakened are either lone wolves who refuse to team up or are already in fixed teams. That left Iberia with no viable options until 2 days ago. That's when he witnessed Itsuki defeat Oga, one of the 4 pillars, and set a new stage record. From that moment, Iberia was determined to find him. He searched tirelessly until he finally tracked Itsuki down. Moved by Iberia's sincerity and aware of the odds, they strike an agreement. Itsuki agrees to team up with Iberia, but first, they need to get Uchiha to the hospital. As Itsuki carries Uchiha towards safety, he starts thinking about his old friends, Riku and Seo. The scene shifts to show Riku and Seo training hard under the guidance of their teacher, preparing for the tournament as well. Seo is currently at level 11, with total stats of 555. Riku is at level 10, with total stats of 493. Both of them are pushing themselves to be ready for the qualifiers. Meanwhile, the story cuts to Reiji. He picks up a Mado tool, clearly frustrated, and asks his guard about Charles, who still hasn't returned. The guard hesitates and wonders if something might have gone wrong. Reiji, furious, lashes out and calls them all useless. Without a second thought, Reiji crushes the Mado stone in his hand to absorb its experience points. His guard offers to send a search party for Charles, but Reiji coldly refuses. Right now, the national tournament qualifiers are his top priority. If he fails, his father will lock him up in the confinement room again. Reiji then turns to his subordinate and asks about the task he was assigned. The man reports that out of the 3,113 participants in the northern continent, they've successfully persuaded 881 to cooperate. Just as instructed, all of them are level 5 or higher. He then crushes another motto stone to gain more experience and level up again. Now, Reiji has reached level 12 with the elementalist job Thunder, and his total stats have risen to 603. Izumi also arrives at the hospital, and upon seeing him, Itsuki immediately apologizes for putting Uchiha in danger. Izumi does not get angry at Itsuki. Instead, he calmly asks if Itsuki wants any help in dealing with the matter, but Itsuki declines the offer, deciding to handle it on his own. Izumi accepts this and asks Itsuki to share all the details about the incident later. They then head to the hospital room to see Uchiha, while Iberia finally realizes why Itsuki remained unfazed when he mentioned his father's name. Itsuki explains the entire incident to Izumi and shares his decision to participate in the Savior Alliance National Tournament preliminaries alongside Iberia. After hearing everything, Izumi asks about Uchiha's condition. Lying in her bed, she confirms that she has fully recovered, and that it is all thanks to Iberia, who treated her using a rare motto tool. Based on this, Izumi begins to suspect that Iberia might be the son of Aiden. Hearing this suddenly confuses Iberia, and while trying to act in a way worthy of being the eldest son of the crafter King Aiden, he arrogantly introduces himself. However, he quickly becomes embarrassed when he realizes that he accidentally said he was Aiden's father instead. Feeling awkward, Iberia immediately apologizes and corrects himself. Izumi then thanks him sincerely for saving his daughter's life and mentions that he plans to meet Aiden after the preliminaries end. After that, since both Itsuki and Iberia need to prepare for the tournament, Izumi gives them permission to leave and informs them that he and Uchiha will be watching the event the next day. Once they leave, Uchiha cannot help but comment on how much her father seems to like Itsuki. She points out that when it was Jean, her father would often take her to meetings instead of him. Hearing this, Izumi explains to his daughter that Itsuki has a strong self-destructive urge when facing disaster beasts, caused by childhood trauma. However, this urge weakens when he has people he wants to protect by his side. That is why Izumi placed Uchiha beside Itsuki. She needs to become his friend, then his weakness, and finally the person he truly wants to protect. Izumi then reveals something shocking. The disaster beast attack at Itsuki's school was not a random event, but a planned act. Many traders have begun siding with the disaster beasts, and their main targets are the commanders-in-chief of each continent. Because of this, Izumi is deeply concerned about the future of humanity, which currently looks very dark. Even so, he believes that Itsuki will one day bring light to this darkness and become a symbol of hope. The next day, all the participants and spectators arrive at North Zone 4, the venue for the Savior Alliance National Tournament preliminaries. The area is far more crowded than expected, as many people have come after hearing that Izumi will be watching the tournament. His presence alone increases the number of attendees from 3,000 to 5,000. However, not everyone is pleased. People like Reiji are angered by Izumi's appearance, as it could interfere with their plans. Reiji's subordinate reassures him, explaining that many of the new arrivals are low-level participants who joined at the last moment and will not have enough time to form teams. This gives Reiji's group a strong numerical advantage. In addition, Reiji has secretly bribed several participants. To identify each other, they all wear red ribbons on their right arm. This confuses Itsuki's friends, who wonder if it is some kind of trend they do not know about. Soon, the host, Ryu Fujiwara, announces the rules of the tournament. The venue is divided into two sections, the outer area and the inner area. In the first stage, all participants will begin from the 4 cardinal directions in the outer area and compete based on how quickly they can reach the inner area. The moment they enter the inner area, their rank will be recorded on their wristband, and only the top 500 participants will advance to the second stage. Participants are allowed to use any method necessary, but they can carry only up to 2 motto tools. In the end, the results are all that matter. As the announcement concludes, Iberia points out to Itsuki that Reiji is also present in the arena. Reiji instructs his underlings not to let anyone move ahead of him. Iberia notices one of Reiji's men and begins thinking of the best way to make Reiji lower his guard inside the inner area so they can ambush him. However, Itsuki has no intention of following that plan. Instead, he walks straight toward Reiji, leaving the underlings confused about who he is. At that very moment, the tournament begins. The scene then shifts to Fujiwara, who comments on how more and more young people are participating in the tournament each year. While this seems like a positive sign to him, Akira disagrees. He believes that quality matters more than quantity, and based on his observation, only a few participants are above level 15. Hearing this, Fujiwara recalls the time when only Akira and Jean participated. That is why Akira says the tournament would be boring without newcomers like Jean, though he still hopes to see someone promising. Fujiwara, however, believes that this is unlikely, as Jean is a once-in-a-century genius and no one can surpass him. Akira then brings up the person whom Izumi has taken in as a disciple and asks if the rumor is true. Izumi confirms it, which makes Akira curious, and he wonders if that person is also participating in the tournament. Since both Akira and Fujiwara are interested, they begin analyzing the participants who might have the potential to be a genius. Harino Riku is level 10 and a golden element user, but his gift is only grade 2, so they rule him out. Kisaragi Saya is level 11 and has a grade 1 gift, but as a water element user focused on support, she is also dismissed. The only person Fujiwara believes might have the potential to be Izumi's student is Hanabe Hana, a wood element user with an unusually high level of 16. After hearing all these names, Izumi remains silent, which confuses Fujiwara. Akira then mentions the level 0 participants, but Fujiwara immediately belittles them. He explains that every year, some people join out of curiosity, but they always end up being defeated quickly and withdraw from the tournament. The scene shifts back to Itsuki, who is also mocked by Reiji after he learns that Itsuki is level 0. In response, Itsuki reveals the bow he took from one of Reiji's lackeys. Reiji instantly recognizes the weapon and becomes furious, yet he still believes that Itsuki is acting under someone's orders to provoke him. Because of this, Reiji decides to focus on reaching the inner area first and orders his underlings to eliminate Itsuki. With only limited information, Akira assumes that Itsuki will be defeated early, as he is already surrounded by 3 level 6 fighters and 2 level 7 fighters. Iberia is also very worried, believing that no matter how strong Itsuki is, he cannot defeat all of them alone. This leaves Iberia thinking that he may have to use his trump card. While Iberia is still considering his options, another participant approaches Itsuki and begins mocking him. Itsuki calmly tells the man to step aside. This only makes the arrogant man laugh loudly. Akira finds Itsuki's attitude interesting and decides that he will step in to save him if things turn dangerous. The arrogant man continues to taunt Itsuki, but in a single moment, Itsuki strikes him with a punch, knocking him down with just one blow. Some of them become frightened after seeing their party member get defeated so easily. This new opponent then uses a B rank skill on Itsuki. The speed of the attack terrifies Iberia, as it gives him no time to use a Mado tool. Another player believes this is excessive against a level 0 opponent, while someone else mocks Itsuki. When the dust settled, everyone is shocked to see that both Itsuki and Iberia are still standing, protected by a wall that blocked the attack. Thanks to this defense, Itsuki's total stats increase from 1240 to 1271. This makes Itsuki curious, and he decides to test whether the passive effect of Black Wall activates when defending against the same skill from the same opponent more than once. Seeing Itsuki block a fire-based attack with what appears to be an ice-type skill confuses the opponent, who cannot understand how Itsuki is able to use such an ability. Itsuki calmly tells him to use the same attack again, saying that this time he will not block it. This angers the opponent, who then uses his strongest B-rank skill. The power of the attack is greater than before and rivals that of a level 8 user, though it is still a fire attribute skill. It is meant to be his finishing move, and he feels relieved, believing that Itsuki is finally out of their way. However, he is shocked to find that Itsuki is still standing and has blocked the attack once again. From this, Itsuki concludes that Black Wall's passive effect does not activate when taking the same skill from the same opponent. The man becomes too frightened to continue, so another player steps forward, claiming that he has figured out Itsuki's weakness. He attacks with a B-rank skill, planning to overwhelm Itsuki through numbers and force him to run out of mana. Although Itsuki's Black Wall activates, he also covers his body in ice and quickly closes the distance between himself and his opponent. The man tries to overpower him with brute strength, but Itsuki easily defeats him. Thanks to that attack, Itsuki's stats increase by 62. Now, only 2 lightning users remain. Itsuki decides to use this opportunity to test the passive effect of Thunderclap Wave. One of them claims that Itsuki is faking his stats, while the other suggests retreating instead of fighting him. However, when Itsuki declares that he will not let them escape, they become angry and charge at him, believing that his ice element will not work against them. Using their C-rank lightning skills, they attack, but this only increases Itsuki's agility by 5%, bringing his total score to 1333. Watching from the spectator area, Akira begins to wonder about Itsuki's true identity. Itsuki quickly defeats both opponents and realizes that Thunderclap Wave's passive effect works in a similar way to Blackwall. Iberia is stunned, as he expected this to be a difficult fight even for Itsuki. He never imagined that Itsuki would be this strong. Unable to hold back his curiosity, Iberia asks about Itsuki's abilities. At that moment, another one of Reiji's underlings, clearly frightened, asks who Itsuki really is. In response, Iberia confidently declares that their team name is Double E and that they are the strongest duo on the northern continent. Ignoring the comment, Itsuki takes Iberia with him and heads toward Reiji. The scene then shifts to Reiji, who believes his underlings will handle Itsuki while he focuses on reaching the inner area. He also begins thinking about gathering more information regarding the crossbow. While he is lost in thought, a participant who specializes in speed rushes past him. This angers Reiji, who immediately strikes the player with lightning magic and defeats him easily. Reiji starts mocking him for trying to move ahead. Reiji then turns to scold his underlings for not doing their job properly. In the spectator area, Izumi and the others observe Reiji's behavior and criticize his arrogance. However, since he is not breaking any rules, there is nothing they can do. Meanwhile, Reiji continues advancing toward the inner area with ease, without losing any stamina. Just as he reaches the entrance, someone suddenly calls out his name. This angers him, and he turns around, demanding to know who dared to call him. His underlings quickly deny any involvement, clearly frightened. They soon realize that the one who called out to Reiji is none other than Itsuki, the level 0 participant. For a moment, Reiji is concerned, wondering if Itsuki has defeated all of his men. However, he quickly convinces himself that Itsuki must have bribed them instead. Itsuki makes it clear that he will not let Reiji leave until they settle things. Standing beside Itsuki, Iberia reflects on how he was carried all the way here. He knows that without Itsuki, he would have been eliminated halfway through the stage. Reiji, however, ignores Itsuki and continues walking toward the inner area while ordering his remaining underlings to eliminate him. The underlings feel confident, as they believe their opponent is only a weak level 0 participant. Iberia becomes nervous when he realizes that there are nearly 100 opponents. Knowing that Iberia cannot handle them, Itsuki grabs him and disappears instantly. A moment later, Itsuki reappears. He throws Iberia toward the inner area while pushing Reiji back, declaring that he will not let any of them leave until their conflict is resolved. Saya and Riku finally reach the inner area while avoiding Reiji's underlings. Saya ranks 4th, while Riku takes the 5th position. Riku believes they were the fastest, but they soon realize that 3 participants arrived before them. The first rank belongs to Kana Hanya, who is at level 16. Saya cannot help but think about Itsuki, who has still not arrived at the inner area. At that moment, Riku notices Iberia being thrown toward the inner area. Iberia lands in 6th place and shouts Itsuki's name. Hearing that name, Saya and Riku are able to figure out Itsuki's location. Meanwhile, Itsuki is blocking the path of the 100 participants and Reiji, determined to settle their conflict. Fujiwara, unaware of the reason, wonders why Itsuki is not entering the inner area. Out of concern, Fujiwara asks Akira to step in if Itsuki gets into trouble. However, Akira is too shocked to respond, as he has just witnessed Itsuki display an incredible burst of speed, something even Akira could not achieve at that age. The scene shifts back to Reiji, who grows increasingly angry as Itsuki continues to stand in his way. Wanting to humiliate him, Reiji decides to make Itsuki fight 100 opponents at once. Itsuki, however, is focused on avenging Uchiha, and it does not matter to him whether he passes the preliminaries or not. One opponent charges at Itsuki with full force, but he is no match. Itsuki easily blocks the fire-based attack and knocks him out with a single punch. Seeing this, the other opponents panic, but they still rely on their numbers and rush in without thinking. This works in Itsuki's favor, as he wants to end the fight quickly. He activates his Lotus Explosion and strikes his opponents, leaving Riku, Saya, and even Iberia in shock. Not only the top 3 ranked participants in the inner area, but even Fujiwara is stunned by the display. He realizes that Itsuki is using a skill that does not match his assigned role. Uchiha is also surprised when she realizes that Itsuki has gained an area of effect skill. She begins to wonder how many abilities he is still hiding. What no one realizes is that Itsuki is only using 30% of his power to ensure that his human opponents are not seriously harmed. After defeating all 100 opponents within moments, Itsuki turns his attention to Reiji. This makes Reiji uneasy, and he asks why Itsuki is so focused on him. Itsuki calmly replies that Reiji targeted him first and severely injured his friend. Today, he intends to return that pain. In response, Reiji arrogantly boasts about being the son of the Kinoshita family, claiming control over the tournament. He also shows confidence in his strength, supported by the karma stones provided by his family. Reiji attacks with a B-rank skill called Lightning Cannon Purple. Itsuki's Nemesis ability activates automatically and begins analyzing the attack. Itsuki easily dodges and counters with a punch to Reiji's abdomen, knocking him to the ground. Reiji quickly realizes the vast difference in their strength and understands that he cannot win. In desperation, he breaks the rules and calls for 40, a level 35 awakened, to eliminate Itsuki. At this point, Reiji is no longer concerned with appearances, only his pride. Seeing that the rules have been broken, Izumi asks Akira to step in and help Itsuki. Meanwhile, Itsuki senses 2 people approaching, and his analysis is still incomplete. Just as 40 is about to reach him, Akira arrives in time and stops him, telling Itsuki to continue. Taking this chance, Itsuki releases a powerful surge of lightning, terrifying Reiji, who begins to beg while mentioning his father's name. Itsuki ignores him and finishes settling the matter. Afterward, Itsuki looks toward Uchiha, causing her to blush as she realizes what he has done for her. Fujiwara, on the other hand, wonders why Itsuki is looking in their direction. The analysis reaches 99%, but Itsuki stops it, saving it so he can restore his stamina once during the second phase. At that moment, Saya calls out to Itsuki, making him turn around. She politely asks him to step into the inner area so he does not catch a cold. Itsuki happily greets his old friend and enters the inner area. Iberia and Riku both rush to hug him, with Riku saying that he missed him very much. Seeing Iberia become emotional makes Riku jealous, and he begins questioning him. Iberia proudly introduces himself as Itsuki's partner, which annoys Riku. However, Iberia insists that their team already has a name, so Itsuki has not betrayed anyone. Riku remarks that only a child would come up with such a name and asks what it is. Iberia confidently declares their team name to be Double E. Riku bursts into laughter, which angers Iberia. Finally, 500 participants gather in the inner area, and Fujiwara announces the end of the outer area examination. Shortly after, he introduces the second phase. In this stage, all participants must face a calamity beast alone in the testing ground for 1 hour. The second phase begins, and Akira looks forward to it, eager to see how strong the top 7 ranked participants truly are. Finally, all 500 participants arrive at the venue for the second stage. Rika notices that Itsuki is still at level 0 and asks if his level is fixed. Itsuki confirms this, which leads Riku to ask how he became so strong. However, Itsuki explains that his teacher has instructed him not to share that information. Saya steps in at the right moment and supports Itsuki, stopping Riku from asking further questions. Soon, Fujiwara, Akira, Uchiha, and Izumi arrive at the stage, surprising all the spectators as they see such well-known figures together. Fujiwara then explains the rules of the second stage. In this stage, several calamity beasts will appear in the trial grounds, and the points earned will depend on the difficulty of each beast. After defeating a beast, participants will have a 1-minute break before being moved to the next stage. Itsuki raises a question, but it draws criticism from the other participants because of his level. Ignoring them, Fujiwara allows him to speak. Itsuki asks whether nightmare-class beasts are the highest level. This leads to more mocking from others, but Fujiwara calmly explains that there is no fixed upper limit to the strength of calamity beasts. He adds that Itsuki will understand once he faces one himself. Even Riku believes defeating such a beast is nearly impossible, as Nightmare-class beasts are stronger than level 10 opponents. Fujiwara continues, explaining that the points earned in the qualifiers will carry over to the main national tournament. Based on their performance, participants may even qualify to join the Savior Alliance. Hearing this, Itsuki decides to use this opportunity to surpass Jean. After the explanation, all participants enter the trial grounds, and the second stage begins. Itsuki finds himself in a large empty room, and soon, more than 10 beginner-class Calamity Hounds of level 1 appear. Without wasting time, Itsuki activates Black Ice Wall and quickly defeats them. In the monitoring area, Akira focuses on Itsuki, while Fujiwara suggests watching Hanya as well. However, Akira remains more interested in Itsuki. Fujiwara does not understand the reason for this interest at first, but he is soon shocked to see Itsuki defeat the Calamity Hounds in just 1 second. Normally, it takes several minutes to clear this stage. Although surprised, Fujiwara believes the next challenge will slow Itsuki down. The next opponent is a level 8 salamander. Fujiwara expects Itsuki to struggle against an enemy much stronger than him, but Akira thinks otherwise. Seeing their focus on Itsuki, Izumi reminds them to monitor the other participants as well. Fujiwara apologizes and switches to a multi-screen view to observe the top 10 participants at once. He notices that all of them, except Hanya, are still dealing with beginner-level beasts. Only Hanya seems to be keeping up with Itsuki. Uchiha reacts in shock as she sees Itsuki taking the salamander strike head-on. Fujiwara becomes concerned and considers calling the medical team, but Akira stops him and asks him to wait. As expected, Itsuki is unharmed and defends himself using Black Ice Wall. He then defeats the salamander in just 5 seconds, earning 500 points. Fujiwara is amazed by how Itsuki covered his body in ice, while Akira wonders why Itsuki chose to take the hit when he could have ended the fight instantly. What they do not realize is that Itsuki did it to increase his defense. At this point, his defense reaches 343, and his total stats rise to 1395. Itsuki skips the rest period and moves on, wanting to test his defense further. Akira and Fujiwara discuss the next challenge, which tests speed and combat awareness. The next beast is an electric rhino, a level 10 enemy that uses both physical and lightning attacks. Its horn channels electricity, making it dangerous both in close combat and at range. If struck, a participant could be injured by the horn or paralyzed by the lightning. The proper strategy is to avoid its attacks and strike when it becomes exhausted. However, Fujiwara is shocked to see Itsuki calmly pat the beast instead. This angers the rhino, and it charges at him while Itsuki does not defend himself. The impact sends Itsuki flying, causing Uchiha to worry again. Akira, however, remains calm, expecting another surprising outcome. The attack increases Itsuki's agility by 5%, and he realizes that attacks from beasts at level 10 or below cannot seriously harm him. Deciding to end the fight, Itsuki activates Thunder Wave, boosting his agility by 50%, and defeats the beast in just 7 seconds. He earns 1,000 points from this battle. Akira notes that Itsuki has completed all stages so far in less than 15 seconds, even faster than Akira himself in his younger days. Fujiwara remarks that everything has gone smoothly until now, but the next opponent will be far more dangerous. This beast has swift movements and sharp claws that can be very dangerous. Fujiwara reveals that this is the ultimate challenge for participants, a nightmare-class beast known as the Purgatory Giant, which is at level 15. Without hesitation, Itsuki uses his clear orb technique and defeats the monster in just 3 seconds. As a result, the projectile speed of this ability increases to 9 meters per second. Seeing this, both Fujiwara and Akira are left completely shocked. Meanwhile, Saya continues at her own steady pace, defeating calamity beasts one after another. Gaka fights without taking any breaks and successfully reaches the normal class. Hanya also reaches the normal class, but after defeating her opponent, she decides to rest and recover her magic power. After Itsuki defeats the nightmare-class beast, an announcement is made to all participants about his record. Without taking any rest, Itsuki chooses to continue fighting. In the spectator room, Fujiwara struggles to believe what he has just seen and begins to question Itsuki's abilities. Akira then decides to increase the difficulty to test how far Itsuki can go. As a result, Phase 2 of the Nightmare class begins. Itsuki wonders what kind of challenge will appear next, but instead of a new beast, the number of the same monster increases. As both beasts roar, Itsuki quickly attacks one of them using Clear Orb and defeats it. This increases the projectile speed of his attack from 9 to 11 meters per second. Fujiwara is amazed by the power of this skill, but Akira notices a weakness in it. At the same time, the second beast rapidly closes the distance, surprising Itsuki. Akira explains that although these beasts appear slow because of their size, they actually possess no magic power. In exchange, their physical abilities are greatly enhanced, making them speed-type opponents. Itsuki attacks again, but the beast easily dodges. The main weakness of Itsuki's skill is its slow speed. Earlier, Itsuki took advantage of the beast's habit of roaring before attacking, but unless he increases the speed of his attack, he will not be able to progress further. As the fight continues, Itsuki takes a powerful hit and is thrown against the wall. Fujiwara and Akira wonder why he is still relying on the same attack and question whether he has another plan. Akira notices that Itsuki is smiling and begins to suspect that he does. Itsuki decides to close the distance and activates Thunderbreaker. The monster attacks again, causing Ajiha to worry. Fujiwara also believes the attack has landed and prepares to call the rescue team, but Izumi stops him. It soon becomes clear that the attack did not hit Itsuki, as he dodges it at the last moment. Using this opportunity, Itsuki launches his attack and defeats the beast. The projectile speed now increases to 13 meters per second, and it takes him only 12 seconds to defeat both enemies. In the spectator room, everyone notices how concerned Ajiha becomes whenever Itsuki is in danger. This makes her blush as she tries to explain herself. Fujiwara comments that she has become more expressive since the last time they met. He then asks Akira if he knew Itsuki would dodge the attack. Akira explains that Itsuki's normal speed is already equal to the beast, but when he uses his skill Thunderbreaker, his speed increases greatly. At that point, it becomes nearly impossible for the beast to land a hit. Fujiwara remarks that Itsuki has already secured first place, but he also understands that Itsuki's true goal is to surpass Jin, the strongest among humanity. That is why Itsuki does not stop and continues into Phase 3. In Phase 3, Itsuki defeats one beast using the same strategy. Akira praises him for continuing to fight without slowing down. Fujiwara then mentions that even Akira, despite having an exceptionally strong body, considered Phase 3 to be his limit. Akira himself had moved directly to Phase 4 during his time. Because of this, Fujiwara becomes curious about how Itsuki will perform in this stage. During the battle, Itsuki attempts to dodge an attack, but gets caught by one of the beasts. However, he quickly breaks free and increases his agility, moving behind the monster. Using this approach, he defeats the second beast, increasing the projectile speed of his attack to 20 meters per second. Although two beasts have been defeated, the third takes advantage of the situation and tries to strike at Itsuki. However, Itsuki uses this moment to his advantage. Activating his Lotus Burst at full power, he strikes the monster and defeats the monsters in a single decisive strike, bringing the fight to a decisive end.